I've had to redo this video so many times because we have so many reports today, ranging from more new signing reports, player exit updates, and news outside of transfers for one. So my friends, hit that like button, share your thoughts and opinions. Let's try and get over 3k likes. But before we get into things, today my friends, the 23-24 away kit finally dropped, and I have to say, I'm feeling this 90s inspired design. If you guys want to secure your kit before things sell out, because with every kit this season, I've never seen them sell out this fast. We are still waiting for restock for the home kit, but that's coming out in like 1 to 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that one. But in the meantime, my friends, use my discount code NINI10 to get 10% off your final order at checkout, and hopefully you guys get the away kit before things sell out. So let's start things with the obvious story surrounding Cole Palmer, because as we know, we have finally agreed terms to sign him. We are set to pay 40 million plus 5 million in add-ons to sign him. Our first bid of 35 million pounds was quickly rejected, but with there barely being any time left in the window, we weren't going to waste time negotiating, and we met the terms that Man City wanted. Palmer has agreed to signing a long-term contract, and currently he is taking his medical as we speak. So in terms of an announcement, I'd expect that to come tomorrow. I think it'll be officially presented tomorrow by the club, and it gives more time for the media to take photos and do all that good stuff. Now in terms of positions that we should see Palmer playing in, he will play as a 10, and he is going to play more down the right hand side. Now later on today, I'm going to drop my reaction analysis video on Cole Palmer. I know that not everyone's excited by this move, but outside of the conversations behind this move, if you focus solely on the player, I kind of feel like Palmer is kind of ready to blow up right now. He is like low-key very underrated, and if you just purely focus on how he plays the game and what he does, I think this guy has real big potential, to be fair with you. So after we sold players like De Bruyne, I like to think that we're avenging the losses of those players back then by basically signing Man City's best youth prospects in Romeo Lavia and now Cole Palmer. Obviously, Joe Shields has played a massive part in helping us sign both of these players and really push the club towards signing two young players that he has worked with over many years. So I have a lot of confidence behind the success of Palmer based on this fact alone. So my friends, we wait for the announcement to come. Welcome to Chelsea Football Club, Cole Palmer. And now let's move on to discussing more stories today. And now let's quickly discuss England international call-ups, as we say massive congratulations to Levi Colwill, who is set to get his first caps for the national team. And it goes back to what Southgate said. I was telling you guys during the summer that he promised Colwill that if you get first team football, I see you in my first team plans for the Euros for next summer. And just imagine Colwill and John Stones playing out from the back, having more pace, better ability to create attacks from deep, playing out from the back, all that good stuff. I feel like that gives us a big benefit and a big advantage for the tournament. Obviously, big congrats goes to Conor Gallagher, whose stock keeps rising and rising and rising, but there is a surprise omission. There is no Raheem Sterling, and it's kind of funny because when Raheem Sterling was out of form, he was still part of the national team squad. Yet when he's in incredible form right now, he's nowhere near. And Southgate's mentioning that because the other attacking players that he picked beforehand were just so good that he's sticking with these guys. I mean, I can kind of understand why Southgate does this. He thinks about the group more than individuals, but sometimes, what is the utility in still keep on picking guys like Maguire, even Henderson, who's now gone to, Saudi Arabia, and Nketiah and Wilson are good, but do you need to have both of them? I kind of feel like one had to remain behind. So hopefully Raheem Sterling now can just enjoy the international break, recover and focus on club football, because if he keeps up this form, I'm sure this guy will get back in the national team squads just like that, my friends. Now we discuss the latest news surrounding Conor Gallagher very briefly, because it seems like Tottenham are getting ready potentially to make a mega money last minute move to sign him. And as we've known for a long time, if we can command fees of up to 50 million for a Conor Gallagher, we are more than happy to sell, even though Pochettino prefers to keep him, and even though Gallagher has been fighting to remain at this football club ever since he joined us last season. Now this move fully depends on what happens at Tottenham, because Højbjerg, for example, is attracting interest from Atletico Madrid, but most importantly from Man United. So if he is sold, expect there to be like a domino effect on deadline day. But at the same time, I would feel bad for Gallagher, you know, a Chelsea boy that wants to remain here. Imagine if he was forced out of the club to sign for Tottenham against his will. Like, that wouldn't really sit right with me. But a part of me also feels like, because Gallagher knows that the club are more than happy to sell him if the right offers come in, that has boosted him mentally. Now he wants to prove all the doubters, and I think he's been one of our best players since the season started. He's showing a lot of promise, and I'm liking this little budding relationship between him and Enzo Fernandez, and I think there's a lot more upside from Gallagher that we could explore and definitely utilise for this season. Right now, he's getting minutes for us, and he's getting called up to the England national team squad, so it's currently looking like a very promising season for Conor Gallagher, but we will see on deadline day what happens with his future. And now, let's discuss the breaking story of this afternoon. And my friends, we have not finished signing Brazilian Wonderkids, because today it has been reported, it's confirmed, we are close to capturing Corinthians Wonderkids in Gabriel Moscardo. 17 years old, plays as a DM, plays in midfield. I kind of feel like this guy is a bit of a unicorn. And I've been saying this about all the young talents we're signing from Brazil. I mean, Washington, Angelo Gabriel, Andre Santos. We're basically hoarding every 4 to 5 star potential player right now. And I'm not going to lie, I should be more excited, but I'm also feeling a bit nervous. And I can admit that maybe it's because I'm not used to this level of hoarding, to be honest with you. Normally when you sign a top prospect, you don't end up signing like 5 or 6 more alongside them. But before I give my thoughts, let's discuss the news. And right now, we are hoping that our offer of 21 million plus 4 million in add-ons, bringing it to like 25 million euros in total, is going to be enough to sign him from Corinthians. Because if this is accepted, this would be the record sale that Corinthians have made throughout their history. And in terms of where the money is allocated, Corinthians will own about 80%, and then the athlete, so Moscardo, will own around 20%. I think recently he proposed to his girlfriend, and I can see why a lot of these Brazilian talents are like even more eager to leave and sign for us, because you're going to become instant millionaires overnight. But there are 2 more things that Corinthians want. They want to include a 10% future sale clause, and they want to keep Moscardo for 1 more season, which I guess works in our favour, because I don't think we can actually allow him to move to Strasbourg. Right now, Washington is getting ready to make a loan move to Strasbourg, and I'm hoping that Vieira ends up using these guys, because Angelo Gabriel has barely played or got minutes so far. But at 17 years old, he's made like, I think, 10 to 12 career apps already. Yeah, another one on the books, and I just don't have any real excitement. And it's weird because I generally think Moscardo is a super talent in the making, and I'm gonna describe some of his games to you guys, and I'm sure you guys are watching him on screen as I'm talking too. But it's more the fact that I have to accept that these are players being bought for the multi-club network model, and we might not even see these guys close to playing for us for like the next 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. Like, there was massive hype around Andre Santos. We thought that he was set to have a breakout season for us, and then like last week he's been shipped off to Nottingham Forest, and already Nottingham Forest are hoping to sign another DM on a permanent move. So it's just like, you know, what is happening with that one? And when we signed Andre Santos, we then signed Leslie Ugochukwu on top of that, and we signed Romeo Lavia, and we're still signing more. So it's quite obvious that as the years go by, all these players won't make it here. But it does bring up interesting questions, because it does feel like due to our incredible vast amounts of wealth, we can basically just like buy the best prospects in the market, outprice everyone, where normally players like this would make a move to like a Lisbon or a Lyon, get like first team minutes, because development is not linear. Like, if you perform, if you get played, who knows how far your game can go, right? But we're pricing out many clubs to sign these guys for inflated fees. And maybe I'm thinking too far into the future, but let's say that out of the 5 super talents we've signed, only 1 makes it. I mean, what happens to the rest? Like, you'd imagine that we have to make a profit on the money that we spent to buy these guys to begin with. And it's like, how many clubs can even afford to buy them for that going rate in the future? Time will tell. I think there's definitely big implications around the future of football in general, because, you know, there's conglomeration happening everywhere right now. You know, clubs have massive multi-club network models. It will continue to grow. More guys will compete alongside that. And then I kind of get this worrying feeling like the game could become tier listed like far into the future, where top clubs just sign the best young talents before anyone else, and then all the discards go to the lower clubs, and then that trickles down from then on. In terms of the sporting essence of football, do we want the game to go in this direction? I'm not too sure, and I'm really curious to see how we give these guys the best developmental pathways that gives them a fair opportunity, of course, to one day maybe play for us. But maybe the players, listen, I don't even care if I have a future at Chelsea Football Club. Listen, I'm now a millionaire as a teenager. I'm on very good wages for the next few years, and I am guaranteed to have a successful career, even if I'm not playing for Chelsea Football Club. So, I can see all sides of the argument right now, and time will definitely tell. But before I go on, let me give you guys a bit of an insight behind this game, because I'm not going to lie, he's showing leadership. He can even speak English at a young age. Very authoritative. I like how he commands the ball. He likes to play forwards, like he calls for the ball under pressure. And I say he's a unicorn based on the fact that he has great physicality for his age, where you're seeing him like shielding guys off the ball to win things at 17. He has like nice little body feints. He can receive on either foot. He kickstarts attacks. He has that skill on the board as well too. I mean, this guy's showing a ton of great things at 17 years old. And if you just focus on how he plays and what he's doing, I think he looks really mature for his age. And this is a massive coup, to be fair with you. But at the same time, from my perspective, I'm just not that comfortable at, how clubs are so comfortable like hedging their bets with younger players. Because, for me, it always comes down to this. Development is not linear. You can affect the potential of these guys based on the pathways that you create. And I don't know, we thought that maybe Santos might have a future. Listen, he still might have one. But I think the competition is getting absolutely crazy now, because you've got your Leslies, Santos, Moscardos, potentially Lavias, and then you've got Caicedo and Enzo. And these guys are set to be here for the foreseeable future. So let's see what happens, my friends. So 2 more quick stories. We discussed some updates surrounding the multi-club network, as reports state that we are very open to buying a majority stake in Sporting Lisbon. Now, this would be a majority stake, not a controlling stake. And I think we're doing it this way because it creates enough wiggle room where potentially we get first refusal on Sporting Lisbon players, or even better, we can find opportunities to find loan paths for our top young prospects. Because if we're signing 4 to 5 star potential players, if they're playing for Sporting Lisbon for the next 1 to 3 years max potentially, they're getting great access to football at a very young age, at a very high level, at a club that is renowned for using top young prospects. It reminds me of this recent deal where Sporting Lisbon have now signed Ivan Fresneda, because we hoped to sign him, but for FFP reasons, we couldn't actually put it through. But we have agreed a first refusal to sign him in the future with Sporting Lisbon. And you can imagine how we want to keep this relationship going with him. And if we have a majority stake at Sporting Lisbon, that creates opportunities. But on the other end, some people may rightfully think, how are we even able to buy a stake in a historic club of Sporting Lisbon's value and history? So again, I really feel like there's a conversation around this multi-network model. You guys, if you have thoughts and opinions, I'd love to read them in the comments below. And now, my friends, let's end things by discussing all the latest exit updates. And we start with Marc Cucurella, because David Ornstein reported that Man United are considering their options now, and they are kind of turning towards Reguilón of Tottenham. And they have doubts now based on the fact that we used Cucurella last night, which essentially cup ties Cucurella for playing for Man United in the Carabao Cup. And I understand maybe why we want to weaken a rival, but the Man United are thinking to themselves, well, if we can't even use you to their full potential and max, and you want us to pay 5 million in a loan fee plus cover wages, let's assess other options on the market, because if we can get Reguilón for less money, maybe it becomes a bit more valuable. So I hope that this doesn't backfire in our faces. That would be really embarrassing. And it really explains why that Ian Maatsen has not committed to signing this contract extension yet. Why would he? He saw what happened to Lewis Hall. And if Marc Cucurella does go, he has more confidence to remain here. If not, Maybe he feels like to secure his national team spot for the Euros for next summer, he'll get a permanent move and play week in, week out as a left back or left wing back. Very quickly, Romelu Lukaku has finally left us on loan to sign for Roma. Roma agrees to pay a 7 million loan fee and they're going to cover 7 million euros of his wages per season. Now, of course, Lukaku arrived today, did all the media stuff, press work, fake smiles, stuff that he must be sick and tired of doing, but I guess not, because he keeps finding himself in these situations. Reports say that Inter Milan were even tempted to consider making a last-minute bid to try and sign him, but the Inter squad said no, they don't want Lukaku to come back. So he's really burnt a lot of bridges, considering the fact that I swear this guy was with Medgar Stallion at Lautaro Martinez's wedding. So yeah, I don't know how these guys live their life, but hopefully he has a successful season with Roma, and hopefully they buy him at the end for his newfound 37 million release clause. So let's see what happens. Other exit news, Zach Sturridge, the talented guy that we signed from Brighton, has now signed for Peterborough on loan for the season. Of course, it's his first introduction into men's football, an attack-minded left back that can play all down the left flank. Hopefully he has a great loan spell. Let's see what happens. We have updates from Chalobah. Currently, Bayern Munich are still in conversations to try and strike a deal. Now, we've asked for £50 million. We probably won't get that, but with Bayern now hoping to sign Paulinho of Fulham, they bid 60 million for him. Fulham want 80 million. Bayern definitely have money. Let's hope that we don't maybe price out Chalobah from a great move, because just like Gallagher, it's another guy that we haven't really shown as much respect to, even though he's played very well for us and has been a super reliable squad player. But when you're starting Disassis instead, and I'm gonna say, what is the real difference in quality between them? Like real strong one, I'm not too sure, to be fair with you. I just hope that at least Chalobah gets his move to Bayern Munich and has the best career he can. And quickly, it seems like Bashir Humphreys and Burstow are set to stay. My guess is until the January window, because I don't think we have enough time to sort their careers out. Now, we ended Humphreys' move to Swansea, which I don't understand why we did. I think he had a great loan spell at Paderborn. Moving to Swansea, a club that has used Gallagher, used Guy, and always elevates these guys. I don't see the utility in keeping him on the 1% chance that a few injuries come in that position and we have to turn to use him. I just hate when clubs do that. We've done that to Harvey Fell, Hudson-Odoi, and so many players, and there is no upside in the end. And it's just like, at this age, you have to play him. And the fact that he played so well last season and now he has to kind of just stall his career for the next few months based on the club being a little bit selfish, I don't really understand that one, to be fair with you. But we see what happens, my friends. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Get ready for my Cole Palmer analysis reaction. I know you guys like them, and I've really enjoyed dissecting this game and showing you guys, why I think this guy could be a low-key signing of the summer. And on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.